Americans' credit card balances have hit an all-time high of more than $1.2 trillion. That's according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Overall household debt is also at a record high of more than $18 trillion. This surge in consumer debt suggests many Americans are struggling to keep up with rising costs.
Let's go over how much debt I have so you can feel better about your finances, and I'm going to show you exactly what is on every single one of my credit cards. Let's get into it. First up is the card we're working on now, which is our American Express, and this one is down to $2,310. Next is our Bank of America card, which is down to $4,650.67. Next is our Spirit MasterCard, which is down to $5,747.63. On to our Capital One card, which is down to $6,198.62. And now we're up to the big dogs. So first up is the Prime Visa at $10,620 and a penny. And finally, we have our Southwest card at $11,118.94. So as a reminder, last July, we had $55,000 worth of debt we were working on, including my husband's car that we paid off and all of our credit cards. And we are now down to $40,645.89. And the fact that we were this close, like I can smell the 30s, I could scream. I'm so excited. Obviously, this is still a ton of debt, but we have paid down almost $15,000. Actually, it was slightly over $55,000 when we started, so we probably have met our $15,000 mark, and it hasn't even been a year. So I am so grateful for you all for supporting me on here and liking and commenting and sharing my videos. That helps so much. I truly cannot thank you because we wouldn't be able to do this without you. Just in case no one's told you today, I love you so much.
How much debt do you have?
Probably like
$80,000. Beyond substantially more than you just thought you had, which is insane. You didn't even know about $30,000? Of the debt you have, you did not know about almost 40% of it.
I just think I need to get everything like back aligned, and then I can be okay with them.
But what you're doing now, that's gonna continue down a worse path. Honestly, it was around a pretty similar time that my debt got really bad. Like 18, like I opened a stupid Guitar Center credit card, but my credit card debt, student loans, private student loans, car debt didn't get bad until like 2021, 22.
Yeah.
So you can get worse, and you're doing nothing at all to correct it.
The craziest thing about paying off $30,000 in credit card debt is that for how much money I have put towards my credit cards, I, right now, could still have had everything I've bought that put me into credit card debt in the first place, and it would have cost me less. Once you factor in how much interest I paid for the $30,000 in credit card debt, I literally could have had every sweet treat, every trip to Marshall's, every dinner out with my husband that I shouldn't have put on a credit card. I could still have had all of it, and it would have cost me less.
So, my husband and I are $60,000 in debt. Okay. Part of the problem. You are. Let me explain how we got here. In June of 2022, we had a good amount of savings and decided that our home that we've been living in for a couple years just needed some maintenance and some upgrades. You can see behind me, we live in like a very normal house, but there were some things like on the outside where our stucco was falling off, so we needed to have that repaired. We had our house painted, we upgraded our bathroom a little bit, and also decided to pay off my husband's private student loan because the interest is not great. And so we had plenty of savings, and we decided to just drain those bad boys. We both had really stable jobs. We would be able to squirrel away some money over time and build back up our savings again. 2 weeks later, unexpectedly, I was laid off from my job. And I'm the breadwinner of our household, so it did not go well. I was unemployed for about 7 months. Thank goodness I had social media to keep us afloat for a little bit, but here's the deal. We had to put a lot of stuff on credit card to be able to keep ourselves afloat. So anything that could go on a credit card went on a credit card. And that allowed my husband's income to pay for our mortgage, our car payments, our daycare, things like that. But everything else went on a credit card. We cut back as much as we could, but there's still a lot of expenses. We finally decided to do a debt consolidation loan, and it's about $65,000. And we're gonna try and pay it off. We did a 5-year loan plan, but we're gonna try and pay it off in the next 2 years if I can finally get that OnlyFans account going. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do OnlyFans, but that's our goal. One of our kids gets out of daycare this year. We've spent $36,000 a year on daycare. So one of them graduates this year. The other one goes to VPK. So that'll save us a little bit of money. Our hopes are that we're able to put a lot of what we were already paying for daycare towards this loan and get it paid off sooner than planned. But your girl loves to shop, so I'm gonna have to do some shit to keep myself accountable to this. So I'm coming on the internet and telling you what my deepest, darkest secret. Where are you going? Oh. Bye. Buying a puppy when you're in $60,000 of credit card debt is not a good idea. I'm just saying that.
Here's a quick way to figure out how to pay off this $9,000 credit card with 32% interest in 12 months. First, we take the balance divided by 12 to figure out what the payment would be if there wasn't any interest. It would be $750 a month. Then we have to figure out the interest charge. I'm using average monthly interest to figure that out. That's the balance times the interest rate as a decimal divided by 12. So we take 9,000 times 0.32 divided by 12, and that's $240 a month. Then we add the interest charge to the first calculation for $750 plus $240, and it would take $990 a month. The interest charge is actually less each month because the balance goes down, so it really wouldn't take the full 12 months. It would only take 11, and the final payment would be about $547. To figure out a more exact payoff plan, you can use a loan payoff calculator. $9,000 at 32% interest would take $886 a month to pay off in 12 months. If you know the set amount that you want to pay, you can use the other side of the calculator and enter it in to see how long it would take to pay off with that amount. $500 would take about 25 months.